Hey, this is Dylan Wong here, and today I'm going to review Big Hero 6. This is the first Disney CGI animated movie based on a Marvel comic. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, even though that I'm a huge fan of Marvel, I will admit I never heard of Big Hero 6 until Disney and Marvel announced that they're making a movie out of it, since Disney did bought Marvel back in 2009. So I became very excited to see this movie when I saw the test animation, the trailers, and the posters. Now that I finally saw it with my uncle in 3D, what do I think of this film? This film is great! One of the most fun and wonderful animated action movies I ever saw. Now I'm going to tell you why I enjoyed this movie with no spoilers. Let's start with the story. The story is about a 14-year-old boy named Hiro Hamada who lives with his older brother and their aunt, who at first spending his time at the alley robot fight, but later was stopped and rescued by his older brother, who later sent him to the robotic lab in his university, where Hiro meets his older brother's friends and Baymax, a robot made by Hiro's older brother who do personal health care for people. So Hiro, his older brother, and their friends had teamed up together to do a project for the science presentation. However, things gone wrong where the university was set on fire and Hiro's older brother had died. After that horrible tragedy, Hiro and Baymax went on to investigate that incident and who stole their project. As they investigate, they realize that the man in the kabuki mask has stolen their project and set the university on fire. When Hiro and Baymax found out who was responsible, they call Hiro's older brother's friends to suit up and team up together to save the world and stop the man in the kabuki mask. I think the story of this film was very well told. Now for the animation. The animation in this movie was amazing. I really do like the designs of the characters on how the way they act, move, and feel. The city of San Francisco was outstanding. It was a mix between San Francisco and Tokyo. The city does remind me of futuristic cities in Blade Runner, Minority Report, and the Tron movies. The designs of the robots was cool and the suits looked very impressive, especially the weapons and rockets. Also, the suit does look like the Iron Man suit and the Jaeger pilot suits in Pacific Rim. The scene in the alley robot fights was nothing really special because it reminds me too much like Real Steel. Now let's talk about the voicing, directing, and music. Let's start with the main character, Hiro Hamada, voiced by Ryan Potter. He did a brilliant job doing the voice of Hiro. His character Hiro was a 14-year-old boy who loves to play bot fights at first, but later decided to help his older brother on something. You actually do understand him because he was saddened over the death of his older brother and catch whoever did this. He later became friends with his older brother's friends and teams up to be a superhero. Then there's the robot, Baymax, voiced by Scott Adsit. Baymax is one of my favorite characters of the film. Baymax was pretty much a Wall-E type character that is very peaceful and caring, but later Hiro programmed him to kick butt. I really do like the friendship between Hiro and Baymax, which is very similar to the boy and the alien in E.T., John Connor and the Terminator in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Hogarth Hughes and the giant robot in The Iron Giant. Now for his friends. Fred, voiced by T.J. Miller, Gogo Tamago, voiced by Jamie Chung, Honey Lemon, voiced by Genesis Rodriguez, and Wasabi, voiced by Damon Wayans Jr. All I think did a wonderful job. Fred was a rich young guy who was a big fan of comic books and kaijus, and he later dressed up as a kaiju that spits fire. He was also one of my favorite characters of the film, and he was very funny. Gogo Tamago was a very tough girl who chewed bubble gums and invented electric bicycles. She later dressed up as in an armored suit with electric bicycle wheels. Plus, I think she looks cute. Honey Lemon I also think was cute. She was funny and used her powers to make things puffy. Wasabi was funny as well, especially his suit with laser swords. That was awesome. Hiro's aunt, in my opinion, was forgettable. But Hiro's older brother, voiced by Daniel Henney, who was from X-Men Origins Wolverine, did a pretty good job. As for the man in the kabuki mask, I won't tell you who it is, but let's just say he does look like Amon from The Legend of Korra and controls all those black bots. Now for the directors. Don Hall and Chris Williams, who brought us Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen. They did a wonderful job making this film. Finally, the music composed by Henry Jackman, who did music for films like Monsters vs. Aliens, X-Men First Class, Puss in Boots, Wreck-It Ralph, This Is the End, Captain Phillips, and Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. The music for this film was cool, and the song Immortals sang by the Fall Out Boy was awesome and fun. So overall, Big Hero 6 was a great animated movie. While in my opinion, it's not as fantastic as How to Train Your Dragon 2, but I enjoy this movie the same way I enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and the Lego Movie. Also, before they start the movie, check out the Disney's new short animated film, Feast, which is about a dog who eats everything the man gives him. So I give this movie a 4 out of 5 nuclear bombs. If you're a fan of Disney animation and Marvel, go see it. Be sure to see after the credits scene. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but there is a surprise cameo appearance.